Best of r/entitled parents episode 114. Subscribe for edit videos daily. Didn't happen to me, happened to an old friend of mine. So my buddy has some PTSD and other type issues, along with some obviously physical handicaps. He uses a cane a lot. One of the things he's gotten into lately is walking down to a small neighborhood park in an urban area and taking really quite excellent wildlife and landscape/nature photos. He's got a pretty nice camera and it helps him with the PTSD, gets him out of the house and he gets exercise too. Feel really quite good. He mostly gets birds, some in the river by part the trail and most in the trees. He tries to go daily if the weather is decent. It's in a northern state and it's still winter. If it gets to 50 degrees Fahrenheit it is a warm day. The park has a playground in one small area in the middle of it, and the rest is a public pool, currently closed for winter, sports fields, and, what my buddy is interested in, about a mile-long walking/exercise trail, primarily through wooded areas. You can't really get to the playground from 98% of the trail nor readily even see it. You need to make an effort to walk to it. So one day he contacts us absolutely angry beyond belief. The police stopped him on his walk. Some nitwit EM had called them about a man walking in the park every day with a camera. Nothing about him taking photos of children, taking pictures, or even pointing the camera in the playground's direction. Not that even that is illegal. The cops thought it was stupid too and quickly let him go on his way with an apology when he willingly showed them the photos on his memory card. Not a human among them, let alone a kid. How paranoid do you have to be to assume this, let alone call the cops? What did she think he was doing? Putting down his cane, climbing a tree to get photos of her kids? He was seriously considered stopping going, but we all convinced him he was more than fine to continue. He took some really great sunset pics yesterday. Never guess he was in a small park in an urban area. Thank you. Next. Alright, here's a little context. I'm bisexual, obviously from the title. This story was about 2 years ago, so it was getting close to the end of the school year, my 8th grade year in middle school. So it was getting too warm for me to wear sweatshirts. I usually always wear a sweatshirt, and so I was just wearing t-shirts more often. Apparently this was wrong. The cast, me, Karen the Entitled's mom, I'll call I'm Zane, Karen's perfect baby. The story. So I was walking home from school like usual, got to my house, did my homework, and had a snack. But since this particular day was so nice, I decided I would go for a walk. Bad idea. So I guess you could say I like to show off my pride for being bi, but I don't really, I just wear what I throw on my bed. Well, today I was wearing a shirt that was a bi flag but as a gradient. So I put my dog in her cage. We don't trust her enough and went outside. While I was walking I saw this mom with a little kid, maybe around 5 or 6. He was trying to keep up with his mom's pace. And oh boy, here we go. Karen, why are you wearing that? Me, wearing what? Karen, that shirt. Do you know what that means? Me, oh yay, this is one of my favorite shirts. Karen, well what does it mean then? Me, well it's a gradient of the bisexual flag. Karen, exactly. You shouldn't be wearing that. Me, why am I not able to express my true self, and what does it matter to you? At this point Karen was doing some weird hand gestures, and shielding her child's eyes. I was just trying to keep a straight face. Karen sputtering, well it's not, is the God's Holy Spirit. Me, and, Zane, mommy my legs hurrt. Karen gives me a death glare. Karen, look what you did, my baby's legs hurt because you wore that shirt. Me, well if you decided not to take. Karen interrupts me, I don't care. Me, first I'm atheist. Karen gasps. Me, and second just let me have a nice walk. After saying that I just walked off and continued going on a little trail. I looked back a few times. Karen was just walking fast, looking back time to time. Thank you. Next. I frequent this suburb a lot. I never really thought anything would happen to me. I apologize, I'm on mobile yada yada. So I recently got married, and moved into our dream house with my wife. We live in Mountain View, California, which is a pretty high-end area, not to brag, since I got a new job at a private military firm. We've only been here for 4 days and we got a knock at our door last night. Enter the Goliath. She walks in saying she'd like to buy our house for 200k. We bought it for 4M. We politely decline and say we've already bought this house, and apologized for any inconvenience. Cue the I'm a single mom BS. Excuse me? You have the audacity to say no to me BCH. NGL, that sorta ticked me off. So I asked her to please leave. She puts a walking cane into our door right before I closed it, which broke the door hinge, and hit my bowl of pasta onto the floor. Now that ticked me off. I spent 4 hours in a line at Costco to get my favorite pasta. I love this pasta. She proceeds to say the almighty words of, if you don't sell me this house for what I asked for, I'm going to burn you down, you coronavirus having BCH. My dog Rico, an ex-drug dog, is on standby mode and ready to have dinner. All I said was calm TF down, or else I'm calling the police. Last chance to leave. And no shit, she hops into her Sienna minivan and skirts along the cul-de-sac. Apologies for the grammar mistakes. I wrote this as a draft at 2 AM. Thank you. Next. And here I thought that I wouldn't end up with an entitled/moronic EP story during this pandemic. Well, so much for that. This happened yesterday when I made a pit stop at a grocery store for a few items I could not get the day before thanks to the idiotic panic buying. I've been slowly stocking up since the first case was announced outside of China. Now a tiny backstory. My car is still titled in Washington state. Why? Well, partially lazy. Mostly this state is stupid expensive to title a car. And when moving out of state, one school lets out on top getting a new car about the same time. AKA no point dishing out the money with less than 3 months to go. So I think you can see where this stupidity is going. Having gotten the few items I needed, and several I didn't thanks to 3 grabby kindergartners, I was just loading them up into the car when I hear this high-pitched gasp behind me. Thinking something happened like an idiot backing into someone else, I look back and there is this probably mid-40s something woman with an early teenage son, who is staring so hard at his phone I think he was trying to see through it, just staring at me in horror. You brought that coronavirus here. What? Me? Lady, are you high? You're from Washington. You brought the disease here. I ignored her, wanting to get my kids bucked in and home before they drove me any more insane with the constant begging to eat their donuts now. Guess she didn't like that. Hey, I'm talking to you. Ow. I cut her off. My past month has been utter hell thanks to stress going on in our family, and well, my filter's gone and my give a fucks have done up and left a long time ago. Me. Oh, shut the fuck up, you brain dead bimbo. The first case came off a cruise from Egypt. Does it look like my pasty white ass has been to Egypt anytime soon? Or seen the fucking sun lately? She tried to interrupt me, but I am a mother to 3 of the loudest little crotch goblins on the planet. The damn space station has called a few times to tell them to shut up. They're trying to sleep up there. So you can guess I have no issue talking over her. Naturally everyone including the cars clapped. /s. Now we were at the back of the parking lot thanks to panic buyers. The only ones there were her kid who looked like he was trying hard not to laugh and some middle-aged man more worried about getting the hell out of this nightmare called a grocery store. By that point all my kids were buckled in and I just jumped in the driver's seat. Thank God the spot in front was open, so I just pulled out, was gone. Sorry if this isn't as epic as other stories here. No police, no threats. Just a dumbass that has given into the panic. Though I did have to spend the next 10-minute car answering my son's endless rapid-fire questions, many involving the phrase 100 million thousand years. Don't ask me, I'm still trying to figure that one out. Thankfully I saw this shit coming, and outside that trip I don't have to leave my house for the next 2 weeks. I will say, while I'm not worried about myself and my kids, we're introverts to the extreme. I do still have family that live in the epicenter in Washington. One of which is my grandfather who is in his early 90s. Lung issues. Stage 3 Parkinson and now stage 1 stomach cancer. Thank you. Next. That time an EP had a tantrum. The EP came back and, shock of shock, the item he wanted was still there. My boss was in the shop at the time and I was going over some stuff in the back. It's honestly fairly unusual that we are in together, but he was expecting a delivery of items and he's teaching about antiques and how to price. I hear the man start shouting at my boss at how his employee was rude and disrespectful and how he should get it for free. Once my boss finished laughing, he pulled out his phone and took a picture of the man. You are barred, mate. The £2 item was this figurine of a cat. It's sold to a regular who collects figurines of cats. She got a bunch of them, so weirdly we did give her a discount. I think it was £42 overall, so we called it £40 because she is a regular. She definitely wanted the cat after hearing the story about the EP. Thank you. Next. The first story is from a couple years ago. A sad story came to light, and the news spread it throughout the town. Let's set the stage. You're 6th grader, and it's your first year of middle school. Your mom is an alcoholic, and your dad left, or died, I don't remember. You're constantly beaten, but then your favorite teacher goes into custody battle with your mom, and she wins. You think your life will get better, but no, it gets arguably worse. After middle school you go to high school, and your mom gets a job there. Anytime you got a girlfriend she would threaten you, or them away. Then after high school you have a bright future, right? Nope, he was forced to work in the coal mines. I live in West Virginia, country roads. A couple times police would come to the house, but you're overlooked 93 times for 15 years. Finally one night you escape, and walk an hour to the school board meeting. Your adoptive mother gets arrested, and I don't know what happened to him, but I hope he's doing okay now. Okay, well that one was depressing, and sadly true. So now about my grandma. My grandma is a bit crazy. Once she sent water back because she said, I'm not used to this city's water. She lives 15 minutes away from the restaurant. Anyway, her daughter, my aunt, everyone, but I had gone no contact with. Why? Well, when my cousin's mom died, my cousin was 10/12. Well, this bitch ass aunt sent my cousin emails saying that she should kill herself. Why? Because she will be as ugly as her mom. Well, after that everyone was in agreement that we should not talk to her. So my grandma has taken it upon herself to invite my aunt to things that she was purposefully not been invited to. Last story is of my cousin whose mom died. So here, stepmom, I don't think she realizes what she is doing. Anyway, my cousin got a new mom a year or two after her birth mom died. Well, she had a baby boy, and now anytime someone says, oh, firstborn is doing great in college, she'll respond, well, secondborn can't now use the potty by himself. Oh, and I saw what she did at the swim meet, so talented. Secondborn finally learned not to put the cat's tail in his mouth. Aha. Well, firstborn will do great things in her life. Same with secondborn. I think she's jealous of the firstborn for some reason. IDK. Thank you. Next. Obligatory mobile typing / English is my first language spiel. At work on Friday, the 13th of March, my wife encountered a mean mother who was acting like my wife and her co-workers were providing poor customer service. My wife is an aide for a middle school, and she and her co-workers were handing out paper packets for students to work on during the quarantine period, since schools in our county would be closed for 3 weeks as per instructions from the mayor. My wife later told me that it wasn't the time for the entitled mom to be a Karen.